Hey, it's Coach M here. If you're struggling with a teenager who's depressed, I want you to know that you're not alone. I know exactly what you're going through because I was in your shoes many years ago when my own daughter was battling depression, and it got very scary for us. Back then, I didn't have the tools and strategies that I have now, and it was actually through my daughter's struggle and everything that we went through that led me down the path of pursuing my career as a life coach. The tools and strategies that my daughter and I learned, not only from therapists, but from a life coach, completely changed our lives in every way imaginable. Our relationship with each other shifted in ways that I honestly could not have imagined. And the best part was, we both, for the first time, were nurturing our relationship with ourselves, learning how to be okay with ourselves, how to let go of thoughts, ideas, and expectations that no longer served us, how to heal those parts of ourselves that were damaged from the belief that we weren't good enough. And finally, changing our story and narrative to one that gave us strength and power in our lives. I tell you this because I want this for you and for your teenager. And yes, it is possible for you too. I'm going to give you the 4 crucial steps that you need to start taking today for this to happen coming up. I honestly believe that the tools and strategies on this channel have the ability to positively impact everyone. And I'm on a mission to get these tools into as many people's hands as possible. So if you could do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button for me, that would be amazing. By doing so, you are helping to spread this content to reach more people. We never know where someone is on their journey, what they're struggling with and going through. And the impact of watching one video, hearing one phrase, or even one word can completely change the trajectory of someone's life. So help me to help others by hitting that subscribe button. Thank you. Okay, whether you've watched this previous video here on the warning signs of depression and you believe that your teenager is depressed, or they've actually told you that they feel depressed, the first step in helping your teenager is to understand what depression is and what it isn't. If your teen is acting depressed and has told you that they feel depressed, ask them to rate their feelings on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being suicidal. And yes, you want to actually say that to them. If your teen says, "Mom, Dad, I'm feeling depressed," you'll want to stop what you're doing and say, "I'm sorry that you're feeling depressed. If you were to rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being suicidal, where do you think the feeling falls on the scale?" If they say a 5 or a 6, then ask them how long they think they've had these feelings. And ask whether they can pinpoint when the feelings started and whether or not they remember if there was something that sparked the feelings. The key here is to get your teen to start talking about it so that you can understand what they're experiencing. If they say the feelings are an 8, 9, or a 10 on the scale, then you want to have the necessary conversation about suicide with them in that moment and get them the professional help right away. My next video will be on exactly how to have that conversation about suicide with your teenager and how to keep it as an ongoing open subject in your household. So be sure to click on that subscribe button and the bell to get notified when I upload that video. If you discover that your teen is suicidal or putting a plan in place to carry it out, or they've already attempted it, you'll want to take them directly to a nearby hospital where a psych evaluation can be done. Mental health providers will determine if your teen needs a short-term facility to help them get to a point where they no longer have imminent suicidal ideation. Regardless of where your teen's feeling of depression falls on the scale, you'll want to seek out professional help for them. That is the second crucial step for helping your teenager. Make sure to get your teen's input on what type of professional they'd like to try first. I highly recommend starting with therapy, but see what type of therapist your teen prefers. You want to do your research here. There are therapists that use different techniques and approaches, like psychotherapy, hypnotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, psychodynamics, activity or art-based therapy, and there's more. You might ask your teen and they might not care, but if your teen has tried therapy in the past and wants to try something different, you could ask if they want to try a different therapeutic approach or offer some alternatives altogether, like hypnosis coaching, energy healing, life coaching, neuro-linguistic programming, or even a spiritual practice like shamanism. Be as open as you possibly can when it comes to alternative practices that have a high success rate for helping people with their mental and emotional health. Remember, everyone's path to healing is not the same. Something that might work for you may not work for your teenager, and they might want to explore a different path to recovery. Obviously, do as much research as you can, but really be open here. I'm going to tell you right now, that if your teen is diagnosed with depression and you have never had depression before, you are not going to fully understand what your teen is going through. You just won't be able to. But you can educate yourself about what depression truly is and how a person experiencing depression really feels. This goes back to the first step. After my daughter recovered and healed from depression, she was able to explain to me what it felt like, and she's given me permission to share her description here with you. This is what she said. The best way to describe it, I felt numb all the time. Even with medication, the numbness just wouldn't go away. I had no energy to care about anything. Even the thought of getting out of bed was too much for me to handle on most days. My thoughts of what's the point consumed me. I just didn't really matter or care to matter. I wasn't feeling pain, I just couldn't feel anything. Nothing was important anymore. The cutting was a way to try to feel something, but even after a while that didn't help. It felt like I was sinking deeper and deeper into the darkest hole with no way out. Depression is not sadness. It's not even close. And maybe you've already done a lot of research, that you've Googled everything that you can, you've read every article that you can get your hands on, which is wonderful. But maybe you still feel like you just want to fix it for them. You want to make them feel better and happy again. If this is where you are, then the third step to helping your teenager is a big one for you. This third step is to learn the art of holding space for your teenager. What does this mean? Holding space is allowing your teenager to be where they're at on this journey. As hard as this is to hear and believe, this is part of your teenager's path. And coming out of it on the other side will give them a profound strength and resilience that will show them how strong they really are. That whenever they encounter hardships and challenges in life, because they most certainly will, they can look back and say, if I can get through the absolute darkest, hardest days of my life, what I'm faced with now is nothing I can't handle. That said, remembering that your teenager is going through this and will get to the other side stronger is so hard. Trust me, I know. When you're compounded with the grief of what they're going through, the disbelief that this happened to your child, and the guilt of not being able to fix it for them, it's a lot. It's really too much for you to bear on your own. Which leads me to the fourth step of helping your teenager, which is to get the help that you need to navigate this extremely hard time. I highly recommend a therapist or a life coach. Sometimes we feel we can only lean on friends and family so much because they don't really understand what we're going through, and they can't really help us. A skilled therapist or life coach can guide you through the ups and downs of what you're experiencing. They can help you to start taking better care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally so that you can show up for your teenager exactly the way you need to. They'll give you the tools to get better and better at holding space for your teenager and for yourself. The guilt, worry, and helplessness that you might feel right now can be all-consuming. It can take you to a dark place as well, and you won't be any good to your teenager if you're in the depths of depression with them. I say this because I allowed myself to get to that point when my daughter was battling her depression. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, and my thoughts got out of control. I was worrying constantly if I was going to wake up and find my daughter dead. I say all of this because you too may be at this point. And if you are, I am urging you, I'm actually begging you to reach out and find a skilled professional to help you. Start these 4 crucial steps today to really help your teenager through their depression. And if you're looking for ways to help strengthen your teen's mental and emotional health, be sure to click on the link below and learn more about the Reset program and join the waitlist. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with anyone that you think may benefit from it. And if you want to see more videos like this one, where I give you the tools to help you navigate the teen years, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and click on the bell icon to get notified when I upload a new video. And I upload videos every week. I hope that your day is a beautiful one, and I'll see you in the next video.